ready to rumble? Are you? I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. Let's break out the big boy. This is my little art box for drawing. I keep a few things in here. It's looking good. So, in my art box we have a few things, and if you want to take notes, now's a good time to get out a pen and paper. If you don't want to take notes, just watch. If you're listening, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to not make this confusing if you're an auditory person. So, here we go. First things first, as far as drawing goes, we have charcoal. There's a few different types of charcoal. A very popular one, a very well-known one, is compressed charcoal. Compressed charcoal is pretty heavy, it's pretty dense, it makes very dark lines, and it's my favorite to use. So compressed charcoal, you can get in a lot of different forms. This one is prismy. You can get it in a flat form, it's kind of like this. And let me find an unused one. You can also get it in these smaller pieces. Compressed charcoal is my favorite to use. I am a pretty heavy-handed drawer. It is my downfall. I'm trying to work on it. But, you know, it's okay. It is what it is. Erasers were invented, so we're all doing good here. Compressed charcoal is super dark. It's like this. And it can be erased, not very well. So, I'm going to go in with an eraser just to show you. We'll smudge one part of it. And that's about how that looks. So, compressed charcoal, it's really good for outlining, going in for really dark shadows. Okay. And it also does make a dust, a powder, when you use it, and so it is pretty good for shading as well. So, moving on. By the way, if you are using charcoal, you're gonna get messy, so put on some clothes that you are okay getting dirty. It will wash out very easily. It washes off your hands fairly quickly, not super fast. It usually takes me about 4 washes after like a drawing class. After our classes are 3 hours long, so after a drawing class it takes me about 4 washes to get all the charcoal off my fingertips and from under my nails and everything. So, yep. Next thing we have is vine and willow charcoal. They look like this. They're very light, very small. Or you can get this chunk monster of a charcoal stick. It's huge, look at that. Vine and willow is really good for sketching. It's really good for your first pass. It's also good for light shading, lighter washes. If you don't want a super dark value, you can use vine and willow charcoal. It's actually made from burning a vine or like a branch. I actually made some at home with my grandma. My grandma was doing a little fire pit out in the back, and she had some vines from her garden in there, and I took some and I drew with it. Isn't that cool? You can just make it at home. Unless you live in the city like I do right now, then you can't burn anything. Anyway, and so vine and willow charcoal looks like this. And it does erase very easily. I'm gonna blend a spot for you. See how it just goes away, it just disappears. It was never there. But we'll erase it. It comes out the most light. So if you're not sure where your highlights and your shadows are and you're starting a drawing, vine and willow is a really good option. Because it does come away more than compressed charcoal, so it's a pretty safe bet. All of these are not super expensive. You can get a good tube. They come in a tube like a canister. Of vine and willow charcoal, it should be less than $5 for sure. If it's not, I'm so sorry. I've only ever seen it less than $5. Don't take my word for it. I'm just saying. I've only ever seen it less than $5. Anywho, let's talk about pencils. These are charcoal pencils. So basically they took types of charcoal and put it in a piece of wood and made a pencil. So if you want something a little bit thinner than using a block of charcoal, then this is a good option. If you're doing fine lines, this is a good option. If you're doing details, great option. So you have different types of pencils, all right? We're getting serious. So we'll go hardest to softest, and I'm gonna try my best to explain hard pencils versus soft pencils. Let's see. This one is called HB. And it is the hardest pencil. That means that if you draw with it, it doesn't come up very well, and you do have to apply decent pressure. You do have to apply decent pressure for it to become dark. So we're gonna erase this guy. It went nowhere. It's still, and it will continue to stay on this paper for the rest of eternity. It will not come off this paper. The next one is 2B, and it is a medium pencil. Still pretty stuck on there. But it does get darker, more like compressed charcoal. So we're gonna erase this one. No, it doesn't go anywhere.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for a brief announcement.
Also, I don't know if my chair is distracting you. It's distracting me. My chair is loud. I don't know what to tell you. The school has chairs already in the like rooms. Yeah, it's bad. It's pretty bad. I didn't choose this chair. I didn't buy this chair, and I can't fix this chair. Okay, so we're just gonna have to deal with it for right now. Just try your best to pay attention. Okay.
And now back to your featured presentation. Thank you.
This is a 4B pencil. Pretty dark, dude. Look at it go. It kind of erases, but it also smudges. I don't know if y'all saw that. Take it back. You can blend it. It doesn't move around as much as like Vine or Willow charcoal would, but it does move, so that's good. And then our very last one is the 6B. This is about as soft as I can get it because I'm heavy-handed, I'm sorry. This is the softest pencil, okay? And so it's a good one to use starting out because it erases a little bit better than the other ones. Still not as much as Vine or Willow, but you get the point. So we'll erase this one. And that's what it looks like there. Also in my art box, I have X-Acto knives. X-Acto knives are great. Out here in the art school land, we use them to sharpen our pencils because, especially, what are they called? Electronic pencil sharpeners are not great at all. They're not great at all. I'm so sorry. They're good for regular pencils and writing, but they're not super great for charcoal pencils because the end usually breaks off. So, and it's not fun to draw with a very unevenly broken pencil. It's not fun at all. Also, most of the time the pencils don't need to be that sharp. So what we do with X-Acto knives is we take our pencil that we're sharpening and just run it along right here. You can just sharpen it over a trash can, or like how we do in the studio, right onto the floor. Just sharpen it onto the floor. Get into it. And so you'll see a lot of artists have pencils that's mostly the lead or the drawing material, like charcoal. And there's a reason why. Because when you're drawing, you don't want to stop every 30 seconds to go sharpen your pencil again. So that's why a lot of them look like this, and yeah. Also, the X-Acto knife gives you a lot of control over it, so if you want it to be super sharp, you can go ahead and sharpen it down. And of course, this gives you the charcoal dust, and so you can smudge that around as well. Whatever you want. There's a lot of options here. We're going to get really familiar with these materials if you are going to do a class style of learning. If you're just watching to watch, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, dude. You can really do anything that we're going to do. At least in the beginning, you can draw with us with a mechanical pencil if you want. It's really not that deep. It's not that serious. And so, yeah, you don't feel bad about not having it. These are not required for the course. But if you'd like to have them, and you would like to grow the skill of drawing with charcoal, then yeah, look into it. I usually don't use pencils. Pencils are for line drawing in my mind, and I don't do a lot of line drawing. I do want to change that though, so maybe we'll go into more line drawing in these videos. But yeah, on to the next. We have this rag, and my teacher called it a chamois. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. It's kind of like an alternative for erasing when you're using Vine and Willow. So I'm going to take a little piece of Vine charcoal. We'll do a little sample right over here. And then I'll take a piece of compressed over here. I'm going to show you how we use it. So I'm going to fold it over my finger so that there's some, what is the word? So there's some structure behind it. We're just going to go in and rub it around. You see how it erases the vine? Okay. I'll take it over here to charcoal, the compressed charcoal. It more so blends it. It doesn't necessarily erase it as much as it does the Vine charcoal. And then of course you can draw with it just a little bit, not too much. But I do use my fingers to blend. I know that's a little controversial because of the oils that are on your skin, but honestly, if I'm gonna make something that I'm proud of, I'm okay if there's like a piece of me in the drawing, you know? Like, it's fine. Art is all about making mistakes and then working around those mistakes. Really it is, truly. You can't not make a mistake. I mean, I'm sure some people do. There's some people on Instagram that I see doing stuff and I'm like, there is no way that's the first try. There's no way they just did that on the first try. It's crazy. But in my mind, in my imperfect world of art, you're always gonna make mistakes. It's just knowing what to do after you make a mistake. And sometimes those mistakes turn into really good things. So keep them around, you know? They're not bad. Yogi's choice. It's up to you. Whatever you're willing to get is fine. But yeah. So I think that's about it as far as materials go for drawing. If you want to use a pen and a regular paper or a mechanical pencil, that is fine by me. You do you, boo. Whatever pleases you, whatever makes you happy, whatever is accessible to you, that's what you should go with, okay? But that is all for today. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't talk your head off too much. And, you know, have a wonderful day, or night, or afternoon. Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Basically, none of them come off. Don't make any mistakes. I'm joking. It'll be fine. It is A-okay.